Who wants to come out of the South region? It's a 1-2 matchup between the Baylor Bears and the Kentucky Wildcats right here on Ghostcast. Happy to have you along. Rogo and the rest of the crew as we bring you here to the ATL. Going to be hot here, this South region matchup. One of these teams heading to the Final Four. Oh, right here in Atlanta. Take a look at some of the keys to the matchup here between the Wildcats and the Bears as they step out onto the floor for the fourth time here in the 2020 edition of March Madness. That's right, you thought there was going to be no games? We got you covered here in this one. Bears looking to attack immediately. And the Wildcats, well, they had to do it against Villanova to get here. Settle into their half-court sets. Let Tyrese Maxey go off. And we'll see how Kentucky Blue fares with an opportunity to head to the Final Four. And we're on. Right here in the Georgia Dome, down here in Atlanta. It's Baylor who gets their hands on the ball first. They flirted with number one several times this season. Coming off of a win against Yale. That's right. Battling up with a couple of those bookworms over there. No, they got some student athletes as well. And Yale surprising some people, including Oregon, early in the tournament. But I digress. Deep into the shot clock here on the first possession for Baylor. Throw it in. The up and under move is good. Into the lane. And Scott Drew's team have the early 2-0 lead. Back the other way here for the Kentucky Wildcats. Trying to work the ball on the perimeter. Wins against North Dakota State, Providence, and as I mentioned, against Nova in an all-Wildcats matchup. Wow! Deep into the block here. Turnaround jumper to tie. No good. Maxey couldn't find the touch there on that one. And back the other way comes Baylor, looking for their second possession and second score of the night. In onto the block. Maceo Teague backing in. Turnaround jumper, that won't go. A little bit of a slow start here so far in this Elite Eight matchup. Wildcats throw it down underneath. Wide open chance underneath, and that one will go down. Nick Richards, the big fella from Kingston, Jamaica. Yeah, reggae boys, but out here on the hardwood, not on the pitch. Turnover, here come the Wildcats after tying it through Richards a moment ago. Down the lane, and it rattles off the rim. Offensive glass is good, and so is the follow-up shot is good. UK sees their first lead of the ball game. John Calipari watching on over there, 3-time college coach of the year. Possession will stay here. That last bucket didn't count. Whistle after further review, actually. But the no coach's challenge went the other way. Still, here comes Baylor right down the rack and in. Vital. Mark Vital. Into the spot. Hasn't averaged double figures too many times so far this season. But is able to get into the wide open lane there and the dunk with authority. So 4-2 here for Baylor. This is Keon Brooks trying to direct traffic from out top. Into the hands of Maxey. Now spinning into the lane. Montgomery. Turnaround shot is good. E.J. Montgomery, the sophomore from Fort Pierce, Florida, with his first score here tonight in Atlanta. Back the other way. Vital already has a bucket. Kicks it to the outside. Down the lane. Passed off out on the right by Mitchell. And then the shot is good. Kicking it out. Working inside out, I should even say. As Jared Butler connects from long distance. Our first three ball of the night. And it's a 7-4 lead for Baylor. Gillespie already with 3 points. With that made field goal right there. Up and underneath. Butler clear the glass, and here they come in the other direction. Mitchell out in transition, floating with the left hand. Oh, he couldn't get the roll. It's the Wildcats who clear the glass. Easier said than done. Another turnover. Calipari going nuts over on the sidelines, and speaking of it, it's down the lane, but no good. The finger roll there on the look for Mitchell, but he couldn't drop it through. Down into the post, trying to get down there is Kentucky, but they turn it over again one more time. Back the other way. Vidal with an opportunity. Out onto the perimeter. What's Mitchell going to do there? It's wasting so much time, but it's kept alive. Bears going to go into the interior here. Turnaround jumper from 12 feet away is no good. I think that was Butler with the look there. The 6'3 sophomore is thinking he can go down into the post and get something done. Louisiana native comes up empty, and so too do Baylor. Approaching the midway point of this first half, and a low-scoring affair as defense and miscues at the offensive end become the theme. Baylor will clear the glass there one more time. Pass ahead and down the lane. The kick across Mitchell for three! Oh, a wide open corner three for Davion Mitchell. And the sophomore extends it to the biggest lead of 6 we've seen here for either team in the first half. Out onto the perimeter now. Kickley. A little bit of good ball movement from Kentucky. As the Wildcats, 8-time NCAA champions, hoping they could really string together another run and make it 9. Turnaround jumper is good. Great touch there from Kickley, the Maryland native. Baylor doesn't hesitate, though, to go back in the other direction. Teague, and into the hands of Gillespie. Setting up out on the wing. Down into the post. Still, man-to-man coverage on the defense for Kentucky, and it works out as they get their hands in the passing lane. Here come the Wildcats back the other way. Going to need to start to generate some offense from the perimeter. It's been really tough to get into the interior here against this tall Baylor defense. Trying to do it there was Nick Richards. Had the early bucket. He comes up with nothing on that trip down for Kentucky. So it's Baylor with a chance to re-extend it out to a 6-point lead. Mitchell from the top of the key. Elbow jumper. Count it! The Georgia native is getting hot at the right time here in the first half. And a 12-6 lead for the Baylor Bears. Brooks barking out the signals from out top as it's the Wildcats who settle into their half-court flow. Turnaround jumper is immediate and for good reason. It's a good one there. E.J. Montgomery quick to turn and pull the trigger, but it works out. Baylor back the other way and down the lane and a finger roll in. As the Bears are the ones who are up-tempo here in this first half, forcing the ball forward and down the field, evident in that 60% free field goal shooting so far. Quick jumper again. And all of a sudden, it's back to a 3-point game. The pass across court, Tyrese Maxey with that first pass. And Kickley with the shot. Now the team's heating up offensively as Baylor just rams it right down the throat. Coach Drew happy with what he is seeing this year. Big 12 Coach of the Year for Scott Drew. You feel me? Here we go. Tyrese Maxey. Kicking it across court. Nearly turned over. Fadeaway three. That's not a good shot for the Wildcats. And leading by 5, the Bears quickly into the offensive end of things. And a turnover of their own. Wildcats with a chance to get out and purr. Can they get his engine running? It's Maxey passing out of the double team. Continued on by Montgomery. Into the corner. Richards throws it back into the hands of Brooks. Keon's going to have to hurry, and a swatted ball out of his hands. Was that a foul? As Baylor brings in some fresh legs. Gillespie still with that 3 points, but that's his first personal of the night. Maxey driving the baseline. Beautiful up and under move. Couldn't convert. Right back in from Richards, and he misses from point-blank range. Put that down with a tomahawk, big boy, and all of a sudden, it becomes a 3-point game. Instead, the lead is 5 here for Baylor. Penetrating into the lane and missing. Kentucky going to stick with what they have on the floor, and that's Brooks into the hands of Montgomery. Swing it all the way back out top. Richards, three-point game isn't nearly his forte, but instead, nice little cross-court pass and a kind roll, as that one will fall through for the Wildcats. Tyrese Maxey with a timely bucket, the Texas native. All right, boy, here we go. Oh, another turnover. Wildcats out in transition. No. Montgomery keeps the flow going all the way to the other side. A chance! And we have got ourselves a tie. Tempo still up here for Baylor, but it's the three ball and some precise execution at the offensive end that is putting the Wildcats right back level at 16 with just over a minute to play here in the first half. Baylor forcing the issue and forcing the shot. Doesn't matter there. Freddie Gillespie, money. Richards, great spin move in the Thunder Jam. Oh, Nick Richards skanking to the front of the rim. And the throwdown is Ireman. Yes, back to an 18-18 game. Often that field goal percentage shooting up for the Wildcats here late in this first half. Pass onto the interior and a turnover. Here comes Kentucky. They can get out and run if they want to here. They've settled for the half-court offense most of the first half, and they'll do so here, settling in as the shot clock is dark. 12 left on the game clock, forcing it down and in. First lead of the night for Kentucky since the opening minute of this one. Still a chance for a good look here, and a chance to tie or take the lead. The fadeaway won't go for Baylor, and they will trail by 2. Heading into the locker room here in Atlanta, 20-18, as it's Baylor who led predominantly most of this first half, only to see that lead slip away, and it's a 2-point deficit heading toward the second half. No real half-court sets according to the numbers. I might beg to differ from the shots that we saw here in this first half of this one, despite the fact, though, that Baylor have shot it really efficient so far tonight. They have been hot here in Atlanta. Here we go, second half underway. Ghostcast crew, 2020 March Madness for you. Rogo on the mic with you. Richards in some trouble as he pulled up the dribble early. Brooks swings it all the way across. And a turnover there from Maxey. Here comes Baylor. A chance to tie or take the lead. Gillespie out on the perimeter. Good pass down onto the block. Mark Vital kicks it out to the outside. And a three will give Baylor back the lead. I have a feeling that's going to be a trend here in the second half in the Georgia Dome. Back and forth between the Wildcats and the Bears. Down the lane, kicked out. Brooks will pass up the shot. Got himself caught up in the air, but he got the bailout there as he had some passing options out at the top. Richards, down low, kicks it out. Kickley, still, shot clock down to 6, using that dribble, looking for the opening. He's going to have to drive or just throw one up here. He throws up a long 3. Ill-advised shot. Poor execution of the offensive end. And look at Baylor quickly out in transition. Up off the glass, but a miss at that end of the floor for Baylor. In and out of the hands, I believe, of Davion Mitchell. Right at the front of the rim. Passed into the hands of Montgomery. Back out onto the exterior. Trying to back their way in here and back their way back into a lead. Richards, good little move on the post, but he can't get the right hand to fall. Out again. And running. Here comes Mark Vital. He has it swatted away, and Vital is denied, but a whistle. So look at the numbers, the backcourt so far for Kentucky. Absolutely dominant against Baylor. Baylor have lost against some quality opponents coming into this one, including the Kansas Jayhawks coming into the tournament. But wins against Winthrop, the mighty Winthrop, the Marquette Golden Eagles, and Yale in the Sweet 16 has them here and back in the lead by 3. A little bit of three-court press, I love it. Maxey's going to pass out of it. Montgomery now trapped back into the hands of Tyrese Maxey, and he'll accelerate across center court. Kickley looking for Montgomery down in the post. Good defense out on the perimeter for Mitchell. Coming off of a baseline screen there is Brooks. Brooks will go hard to the right hand, gets in the lane, but there was contact, and the big fella is going to pick up his first personal. The junior from Lake Charles, Louisiana. That's going to send Keon Brooks Jr. to the line. The only freshman out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, playing in the SEC this season. A little bit of pressure here for the young fella. And he stands up to the task. So 1 point lead here for Baylor. Now it's the half-court press coming out for the Wildcats. Maybe Coach Calipari saw him motion the signal over there. And the Wildcats head coach, a little higher pressure up the floor. See if it affects Baylor getting into their set. Good passing all the way across. Oof. Davion Mitchell. Smooth stroke from the outside. And it's back to a 4 point lead. Over and back here against Kentucky. And it's the defense there, Freddie Gillespie. Oh, Coach Calipari can't believe it. His young team showing a little green here as Baylor just moments before with the three to extend it to a 4 point lead, and then heavy defense to force the backcourt violation. Kentucky looking for their turn. Gillespie. See if they can come up with their own defensive stop. Gillespie skip pass all the way across. And look at this. Baylor coming right back out there. Not about to go away. And a timeout here for Coach Calipari. A little bit of halftime entertainment from the Baylor Bears cheerleaders. Our cameras will take you inside the huddle here as Coach Cal. Oh, just digging into these guys. Come on. We're better than this. Trying to be the team that comes out of the South region. Exclusive access, by the way, only right here on Ghostcast. So here we go as the Wildcats break the huddle. And a chance to at least get their offense back into a flow here with just over 7 minutes remaining. Maxey, the skip pass all the way across. They reset it all the way on the top. Oh, an ill-advised pass into the lane. That's a turnover. And here comes Baylor. Their defense shining at one end, and it's leading to good buckets and good opportunities at the other end. Gillespie keeps it going all the way across. Perimeter jumper. No good this time, and this time it is the Wildcats who do clear the glass. Can ill afford to really get down by more than this as we dwindle down here in this second half. Close to the midway point of this second half of basketball from the Georgia Dome. Maxey into the hands of Brooks Jr. Back into the hands of Richards. Can he get into the perimeter? And one! Oh, Nick Richards. He got going and got hot early in the first half and then went kind of quiet on us, folks. And now all of a sudden here, the big fella, normally known for his rim protection, the team leader in blocks, but he comes up with the big three-point play right there, and we're back to a one-possession game. 43, Andrew Shue going to come into the game for some precious second half minutes here. Kid straight out of Melrose, California. Down the lane now here for Baylor as they only lead by 3. No team has gotten it to double digits. Oh, and a kind roll. What a move inside. And here comes the Wildcats. Brooks. Swing it all the way across. Why not? Shue going to go down inside of the paint, see if he can find some positioning down there, but instead it's Montgomery into the hands of Kickley. Emmanuel. Swing it all the way through. Shot clock down to 7. Wildcats are going to have to go in a hurry. Shue just came off the bench and he drops one. Big bucket for the SoCal kid. How was there a response? Back the other way for Baylor. He got caught underneath, and it was the rim that actually did the protecting No Wildcat was even in the vicinity. Lack of pressure there allows the Wildcats to take it right back across and set up in their half-court offense. Chance to tie the ballgame with a 3 or cut it to just a 1-point lead. Brooks from the free throw line. Out onto the perimeter. What do you draw up here if you're Coach Calipari, knowing you need the bucket? Oh, it's Shu with the pretty move inside again. Look at this guy. Off the bench and a quick 2 shots and a quick efficient 4 points. And it's back to a 30-29 ball game as we tick down toward 4 minutes remaining here in Atlanta. Who is going to come out of the South region? Mitchell, short baseline jumper. That's quality. Averages pretty even numbers on the season. Shoots about 41% from the floor. And he got to his spot right there to extend it back to a 3-point lead here for Baylor. This is Brooks. Looks like they're going to go into Andrew Shu for a 3rd time. Oh, is that going to be a turnover? Pretty even in turnovers so far. 6 on the night for the Wildcats, just 5 for Baylor. Although Baylor turned it over early and often, and now they've been able to figure it out here in the second half. Maxey. Baseline screen for Brooks. Swing it back to Tyrese Maxey on the outside. Now into the hands for Brooks. He's come all the way back onto this near side. Onto the wing now. They're going to get it into Shu in a hurry. He's already 2 for 2 since he's come off the bench. There's a 3. That's no good. It's Baylor. Look at the deep pass ahead and the ball movement and up and off the front of the rim. If I had a dime for every time I said the Bears missed from close range or off the front of the rim tonight, I'd have 40 cents. It's still a 3-point lead for the Bears. 2 and 1 in the region, matching up for the right to go to the Final Four. Turnaround shot is good again. E.J. Montgomery's been quiet tonight, but the left-handed floater. Look at this, back the other way. And an and one opportunity. No whistle, but an immediately good move with the left hand there from Jared Butler. They can't run with us, you hear Coach Drew saying on the sideline. What are you going to say about that, Wildcats? Because we're down to 3 minutes to play. Deep shot. No. Rattles in and out. Not sure what Nick Richards is doing. He makes his hay down in the paint. Back the other way, and Baylor trying to run out, but they cannot find the hoop. Here we go. It's Maxey. Both teams shooting 50% or better now. We've gotten to 2.5 minutes plus here in this second half. I don't know. Something tells me we might be headed for some free extra basketball here in the Georgia Dome. Who's going on to the Final Four? Gillespie trying to penetrate using the power of his dribble. That was the 7th turnover of the night, by the way, for the Wildcats. Short range shot, and it looked like a good block on the interior by Tyrese Maxey. But the freshman out of Garland, Texas, is going to be whistled for the foul, and that'll send Davion Mitchell to the line. Just a 66% free throw shooter. So will he be feeling a little bit of the nerves here? The answer is heck no. Sophomore drops that one with ease. And the crowd likes it as Mitchell hits a pair to make it a 5-point game. Here's that 3-quarter press again from Baylor. It gave Kentucky trouble earlier here in the second half, but they get across the line here. Brooks penetrating, kicks it back out for Maxey. Back into the hands of Keon Brooks. Tell you what, the Wildcats are hesitating so long to get into their set. Richards now. Little two-man game there between Richards and Maxey. Out onto the perimeter. Turnaround shot from Montgomery is good. E.J. Ethan John Montgomery with the turnaround bucket there. We're back to a one-possession game. Baylor just can't get away from these Wildcats. Approaching 90 seconds left here in the second half. What do Baylor have in store? Mark Vital down the lane. It's good. Oh no, excuse me, it was Jared Butler. Butler has been going off to the tune of 15 points and 2 assists. The graphic said so. And back to a 5-point lead now for Baylor. must have in terms of a bucket if you're Kentucky here. They've got to come up with something. Maxey quickly back into the hands of Brooks. Richards, can he come up with another big three-point play? Brooks. Turnaround jumper off the glass, no good. Baylor pull down the rebound. Long pass ahead. A bucket here surely would doom the Wildcats, but they pull it off the front of the rim. And a quick timeout by Coach Calipari as we're under a minute remaining in the contest. Yeah, the Shake and Bake Twins out there, well known down there in the Texas area. They were brought along as motivation for the Baylor Bears to try and get out of this South region. Coach Cal's going to have to draw up just a good old-fashioned 5-point play here. No, I'm kidding. It's good defense, but you got to get a score on this timeout. You trail by 5, a 3, or a quick score would at least give you a chance to play defense at the other end of the floor and not have to get into that foul game. Richards. Oh, and he throws it away, and there is part of the foul game. Oh, a big turnover there, and costly. Kentucky has been careless with the ball here in the second half, and now, if you're Kentucky, you have to foul. Keon Brooks, the culprit this time, as some frustration starts to set in over there on the Wildcats sideline. Another foul in the backcourt. This one going to go on Emmanuel Kickley. I suspect another one coming. And indeed, my suspicions were correct. Maxey this time whistled for his second personal. And the next whistle will send... Oh, just stealing it right back, huh? Don't get carried away here, Rogo. Montgomery baited the passer into throwing it in. Do the robot. Do the robot. Do the Dougie. No, they're not taking suggestions here tonight, but maybe the Wildcats have some solutions. As they are down with their back against the wall. The 8-time NCAA champions looking to continue their journey here in Atlanta. But they find themselves trailing Baylor by 5. They took a 2-point lead into the half, but that evaporated quickly with the second half adjustments from head coach Scotty Drew. Oh, extended timeout here from Calipari as he really is digging into these Wildcats here. I suspect they come out of the huddle with a big 3-point shot drawn up for either Emmanuel Kickley or Tyrese Maxey. They come out of the huddle with a really poised look on their face, and it's going to be the freshman Brooks who will inbound here. Montgomery, no time to hesitate here. If you're Kentucky, you've got to find a quality shot. Skip pass attempt, and it's a turnover, and right back into the hands of Baylor. Turnovers have just crushed Coach John Calipari and these Wildcats here in the second half. First free throw for Mark Vital is good. Only shoots 42% on the season. But he's coming up clutch, the junior big fella here. Oh, I said it too soon. And it's still a 6-point game. Quick timeout again. From Coach Calipari. If you got him, use him. Can't take him home with you, is the old adage, right? Well, he didn't exactly come up with a great play the last time out, as Kentucky got caught over in the corner and an ill-advised pass turned the ball over, and that led to one of 2 free throws going down. Now what do? I'm looking at my leading scorer, Tyrese Maxey. He's been clutch for me all season long. Was big in the win against Providence in the round of 32. And he had some key buckets in the second half in the Sweet 16 win against the Villanova Wildcats. It looks like the same speech I swear I saw 6 seconds ago. But I think the message for Wildcats fans is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's been working for us now for 11 seasons with Coach Calipari in charge. They're going to inbound in their own backcourt. Tyrese Maxey ahead for Brooks. Back into the hands of Maxey. Can't get free. Brooks now caught on the side. And another turnover and another foul. Oh my goodness. Second time they've gone to that spot on the floor. This time it's Emmanuel Kickley who turns it over to send Maceo Teague to the free throw line. And he is the best free throw shooter on the team for these Baylor Bears. 85% on the season. Automatic Maceo. Auto Maceo. Boom. 2 of 2. Kickley picked up his second foul. Kentucky will throw it ahead quickly. Looking for a three. Montgomery passed out of it. Down the lane, the fadeaway, and it won't go. Baylor are moving on to the Final Four. They won't change hotels. They'll stay right here in Atlanta. But they are one of 4 teams that will vie for a national title. And of course, you'll see it all right here on Ghostcast, bringing you the sounds right here on our YouTube channel. We will take you all the way through it here in March Madness as the Bears book their ticket. 41-33, the final here as the journey comes to a close for the Kentucky Wildcats. We'll see you at the Final Four, everybody.